the next death of someone with an AR-15 is going to be on you, because they had a chance to stop it today. And if there is another mass shooting, it's going to be their fault. If there is another mass shooting here in Florida, it's going to be their fault, because they had a chance today. They had a chance to stop it, and they threw that chance away.
That is a reaction from a Stoneman Douglas High School student after the deadly shooting and delayed action by lawmakers. Good evening and welcome to News 20 at 5. I'm Aaliyah Wilkerson.
And I'm Shay Simon. Students stormed the Capitol today protesting stricter gun regulations. Currently, lawmakers voted to take no action on gun control.
The Florida State House rejected a ban on many semi-automatic guns and large-capacity magazines on Tuesday.
This is after last week's school shooting. Dozens of survivors came to the state capitol to turn sadness into action. As you know, it has been a week since the 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz walked into Stoneman Douglas High School with that assault rifle and killed 17 people.
And today, dozens of students' rally cry of #NeverAgain are being heard at the state capitol.
Let's go, hey, hey, ho, ho. The NRA has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. The NRA has got to go.
Here's video of some Parkland students at the capitol along with Tallahassee citizens. They walked the streets of Tallahassee to confront lawmakers. Their mission, to push for stricter gun laws. They plan to hold various rallies in the city and a news conference with Democratic Florida Senator Lauren Book. Students also took to the streets in Broward County. With digital journalist Kayla Lawson, she went to the Capitol and caught up with students just before they spoke with lawmakers.
If you are silent about your pain, they'll kill you and say you enjoyed it. Unfortunately, this memorable quote by author Zora Neale Hurston is not just a metaphor for students from Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, it's a reality. After 17 of their schoolmates were brutally murdered in the deadliest school shooting since Sandy Hook Elementary School, these students are vocalizing their pain and suffering in hopes that tragic shootings such as this one don't happen again. They journeyed from Parkland to Tallahassee and organized meetings with legislators and other government officials to encourage them to pass bills for gun safety like Senate Bill 196.
We're just really trying to show that maybe some notions aren't as what the Founding Fathers believe, and maybe we should have background checks to make sure that the people that are getting guns are people that are qualified to have them.
Republican Senator Bradley couldn't give the students a definite answer on whether or not he would vote yes on bills regarding gun control, but he did reassure them that the government is trying to move quickly to enhance student safety.
I just want you to understand that we're moving as quickly as the system allows, with the urgency that is deserving of of the emotion and the concern that I hope you understand that I speak for myself, that I feel.
Although the day before the rally, 71 members of the Florida House of Representatives voted no on whether or not to debate House Bill 219, which would ban assault rifles, the Parkland guests are still hopeful that their voices will be heard and that the government will successfully pass more gun safety bills into law. Student activists are hoping to keep this momentum going with the #NeverAgain movement and the March for Our Lives, which is set to be March 24th. This nationwide march is supposed to be against gun violence and for gun safety. In Tallahassee, I'm Kayla Lawson for News 20.
Volunteers were on hand to give the students food and water to keep them nourished while they fight for their rights. Junior ROTC cadet Peter Wang was one of the students killed in Wednesday's tragedy. Students say 15-year-old Wang died while holding the door open so that his classmates and teachers could escape. Today, Wang was posthumously accepted into the U.S. Military Academy at West Point for his heroic actions on February 14th. Wang, according to the U.S. Military Academy, had a lifetime goal of attending the USMA. The heroic letter was hand-delivered to Wang's parents by a uniformed Army officer at Wang's funeral. Peter Wang was buried in his school's ROTC uniform.
The Parkland shooting has also brought the debate of gun control back into the forefront. I was able to visit a gun store and find out just how easy it is to purchase a gun in Florida.
17 lives taken by the hand of a gun. In the wake of a mass shooting in Parkland, Florida, by 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, the nation has rekindled the debate over gun control. Tallahassee resident Reginald Austin wants stricter gun laws.
An assault rifle, I don't think nobody outside of police or military ought to have an assault rifle. that's just too much firepower, and you can see the damage that it does when somebody who maybe not be in the best of mental health would get it.
Nicholas Cruz was able to walk into a gun store and purchase a rifle just like this one, an AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle. In Florida, you're not required to have a permit nor license to own a gun, and you're not required to register. A background check is required for purchase, but it is not extensive.
The background check checks to see if you're a felon, see if you have indictments out. There's a number of questions that they ask. It asks about your mental status. There are things that they can check. There are things that they ask, but they can't check, and so they're voluntary for you to give a truthful answer.
Right now, there are 2 gun control bills in Congress.
I signed a memorandum directing the Attorney General to propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns.
According to the FBI, since the background check system has been put into place, more than 230 million checks have been made and only about 1 million denials have been issued. CNN reports since 1927, there have been 74 random elementary, middle, and high school violence with fatalities. This list doesn't include suicide, gang-related incidents, or deaths resulting from interpersonal conflicts. According to the report, 15 of the incidents happened since 2007. And this list doesn't include colleges or universities.
In other news around the area, many may have been wondering why the Adams and Orange streets were blocked off recently. For that information, we go to Belinda J. Wesley in the studio. Hey, Belinda J., what's going on out there?
That's right, Aaliyah. The streets were sectioned off because construction workers were placing pre-poured thermoplastic paint on the crossways. Our digital journalist Angelique Beckford captured great video of the scene. You can see the lights flashing and the construction workers going hard to get the job done. Now, pre-poured thermoplastic, also known as pre-poured thermal, are visible pavement markings that have reflective lighting for pedestrians and bike riders to see during the night. A report released yesterday by the Governor's Highway Safety Association showed the number of pedestrians killed in traffic jumped to 11% last year. Construction worker William Davis believes the more durable paint will limit accidents involving pedestrians. Here's what he had to say.
We're actually laying preform, which is thermo paint. It's mixed with fiberglass and paint. It'll last longer than normal roadway paint. Basically what we're doing is we're trying to make sure it's reflective, everyone can see it, and it's just improving the safety of our community and our students here on South Adams Street.
Construction crews wrapped up the work within 24 hours. That's all I have for you. I'm Belinda J. Wesley. Now back to you all at the desk.
Hello and welcome to Bruton's Brew. I'm Angelicia Bruton, and here's what's brewing in international news. A highly anticipated meeting between U.S. and North Korean officials will not happen. There are high hopes for an encounter between the two countries as Vice President Pence traveled to the Olympics in South Korea. According to reports, Pence and Kim Jong-un would not have met personally, but instead Pence would have met his sister and other North Korean officials. According to North Korean officials, there was no indication of a meeting at all. Unfortunately, the meeting will not happen as Pence has now returned to the States. Pence said if the opportunity did present itself, he would have taken the time to encourage North Korea to abandon its nuclear and ballistic missile ambitions. Now to a recent unfolding story in Syria. If you thought the war in Syria was slowing down, it's not. Bodies are now being lined on the floors of Syrian hospitals after an airstrike in the Syrian city of Ghouta killed 71 people and wounded 325. The bombing stemmed from an ongoing civil war within the country. Out of the bodies wounded, majority were children.
Welcome to eLive. I'm Kayla Lawson here with your daily dose of your entertainment news. Oprah Winfrey is stepping up to support the March for Our Lives movement. The media mogul is matching George and Amal Clooney's donation of $500,000. Winfrey took to Twitter to share her story, saying, "These inspiring young people remind me of the of the 60s who also said, 'We've had enough and our voices will be heard.'" The March for Our Lives event on March 24th is being organized by students who survived the deadly shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. They are calling on Congress to make changes to gun control.
Welcome back, I'm Brandon Jones here with your sports. The FAMU baseball team lost to Mercer University in their first game on the road this year. The Rattlers game was a bit of a shootout. FAMU batted 10 runners in but had difficulty defending the lead, giving up 11 total runs. The final score was 11-10. The baseball team is back in action tonight to wrap up the 2-game series against the Bears. The next home game will be February 23rd on Friday against Alcorn State. FSU's baseball was able to bring home a victory against the University of South Florida. After being in a 1-1 deadlock for the majority of the game, the Noles were finally able to surpass the Bulls in the 8th inning. The final score was 5-2. FSU women's basketball was upset in a 79-66 loss against Duke. Many had high hopes for the Noles as they came into the game ranked number 9 in the nation. Duke was able to hold off the Seminoles, who tried to make a push late in the game. Unfortunately, the Noles' efforts weren't enough and they dropped the game. They take on Boston College Thursday for their next game.
As we go into the next 5 days, Thursday our high is 83 with a low of 60. Friday our high is 82 with a low of 60. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a low of 81. A high of 81 with a low of 62. Sunday and Monday we'll be experiencing some rain with a high of 81 with a low of 65. And Monday our high is 75 with a low of 61.
Thank you, Michaela. That's going to do it for us tonight. For Michaela and Brandon, I'm Aaliyah Wilkerson.
And I'm Shay Simon. Thanks for watching. Be sure to watch us online when we're not on live TV. Have a great evening.